Oh gosh. Okay. You said look this up. All right, we're gonna look it up. Give me a second. Before we do, guys, go subscribe to Spurs Invasion. Right now, if you're seeing this video in the future, it looks like it's just 3 videos, but there's gonna be a 4th one up. Go good on Sohan. Link below in the description box. Okay. All right. So he talked to Richard Jefferson, I'm assuming. Is that what you're saying? It says 5 minutes long. Chet Holmgren gets real about Victor Wembanyama and Rookie of the Year.
I understand.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The whole game, because I remember at the combine you came up to me before I even got drafted and you're like, whatever we say, don't take it personal
and don't listen to it.
And I'm like, it took me a while, but then it was actually our coach who really made it like click. Like right before the playoffs, we're talking about the whole media machine and everything, and like not getting distracted.
I'm speeding this up. If you guys want to watch it yourself, just jump on to just type in Richard Jefferson, Chet Holmgren. I don't know.
Distracted with it, especially going into the playoffs. And then I realized I'm like, and he literally called you guys actors.
Yeah.
And I was like, they are actors.
That's fair, but I want to get to me as an actor personally. I was not acting when I was campaigning, and my 2 co-hosts, when I was campaigning for Chet Holmgren for Rookie of the Year up until, I don't know, like March.
Okay, so I did do a video, or I recorded it off stream, and I think it was an article when Richard said, is this where it's from? This might be where it's from. It was an article in which he said, I chose Chet Holmgren as Rookie of the Year. And I was like, that's dumb.
Mark, look at their faces.
No, you were,
we were getting in heated battles about, I thought that you were Rookie of the Year over Wemby, and this is why. I know the pressure that it comes with when you're on a team that is battling and competing for something every single night. To do that as a rookie in 82, my beliefs were if you would have been on the San Antonio Spurs, the numbers that you would have put up would have been equally as ridiculous.
Okay, I didn't see this. I read it. This is stupid. This is a dumb argument, guys. This is a really dumb argument. I know what it's like to compete and you're on a competitive team. What are we even talking about? What are we talking about? I gave you Rookie of the Year because you're on a more competitive, you're on a better team. That's like, this has been his argument. At least he's consistent. This has been his argument for everything. He did the same thing with Defensive Player of the Year, right? Like he said that Wemby shouldn't get Defensive Player of the Year because he's not on a winning team. And now he's saying Chet Holmgren should have got Rookie of the Year because Chet's on a winning team. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I don't understand that at all. Like, Wemby in every facet has been a better player than Chet Holmgren. Like, in every facet of the game. And I guarantee you, if Wemby, because he's making this argument, but really it just comes down to who had the better team. Because I guarantee you, if Chet was on the Spurs and Wemby was on the Thunder, then he would say that Wemby deserves Rookie of the Year. That's just a silly argument. Oh, you were on a team that competed more because you had better players on. Like, well, what are we talking about? Wemby would have been the first or second best player on offensive option on that Thunder team. Chet Holmgren, I'm not trying to disrespect him, but he was mostly a 3-and-D. They did not rely on him to score like that. This is just terrible analysis as far as these two players. Wemby is better in all facets. Like, can you name one facet in which Chet is better other than catch and shoot threes? That's insane.
Ridiculous. And this is not to disrespect Wemby, not to disrespect. Dude's
it is
next
disrespectful.
Level. But I just thought when I compared the numbers and I looked at, like, if you get in foul trouble, if you miss 2 rotations, that affects your team. there was another rookie. Wemby was never in that space. So as an actor, I just want to let you know that I was not acting when I was campaigning for you as rookie.
Chet, tell him that's a stupid argument and Wemby deserves it. Please. Come on, Chet. This isn't even disrespectful to Chet. I'm not being disrespectful to Chet. He is disrespecting Wemby right now.
You believe you should have been rookie of the year?
Well, I appreciate the support from you, my brother. I mean, that's just such a difficult, loaded question. I mean, to sit here and say if this, if that, talk about situations like
exactly. Yes, see, even he's like, no, that's stupid. Wemby deserves it. What?
Situations were different. You know, you can, like polar opposites. I mean, you can come up with 50 pros and cons for each of us on like things outside of statistics, just like completely random things from who's on our team, what we're playing for, what amount of attention is placed on it. Like, you could come up with a million different things for each of us.
Exactly. And this is why I don't do these mental gymnastics with this type of stuff, right? Like, who played better individually? Like, let's not do this mental gymnastics and, well, if he's here and he's here, then hypothetically this, and that's why I would give it to him. Why are we doing this? They did the same thing with Rudy Gobert. Why? Stop. Let's not do that, okay? One player is playing better defensively than the other. One player is playing better than the other. That's it. We don't have to do these mental gymnastics to figure out and do this calculation to figure out who deserves it. Like, it was pretty obvious. You can look at it at statistics. You can look at advanced analytics, and it was obvious that Wemby was Rookie of the Year by a mile. With his argument, every top one pick will not have a chance for Rookie of the Year. Yes, exactly, because every top pick goes to a trash team. That too. Wemby cooked Chet every one-on-one. Not even disrespect. I like Chet Holmgren, by the way. I like Chet Holmgren. I really do. I think he's kind of weird sometimes when, he does certain things. But I like Chet Holmgren. I do. But even he's like, yeah, that's a dumb argument.
As to try and skew decisions, but like at the end of the day, what is the criteria? This is my thing with all NBA awards. Like, what is the criteria? It's hard to. It's all in the eye of the beholder. So it's like what Richard Jefferson believes is different than what Shannon Frye believes.
Yeah, but mine matters. It's just Channing's
all right.
Well, my question is this:
but it just comes down to who has more voters that believe in their side of the criteria, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I don't think like Wemby was unfair and winning or anything.
Yeah. And also, I think he has a really good point, but I think there's always going to be some level of subjectivity when it comes to winning these awards. But even if we look at this is what bothers me with this crap, is like Richard Jefferson's opinion is just bad to me because he's all subjective. Every award, every performance, it's going to be some level of subjectivity. It got to get to a point where we can use as much objectivity as we possibly can. And that's where the statistics, that's where the advanced analytics will come in. And almost in no category was Chet Holmgren better or more impactful than what Wemby was on the Spurs. 3-point shooting wise, sure. But that's it. Like you have to look as much objectivity as possible. And you can put in your subjectivity of, what does the eye test say, of course, but it's just silly. It's just silly, right? You can't just go full on subjectivity. Like, what if we did that with the Oscars, right? Like, what if we just do that with the Oscars? It's like, you can just have some, I don't know, who's a good actor that been in bad movies? Who's a chick from Madam Web? What's her name? I can't remember her name. Gosh, can you guys give me her name? You don't have to. I can Google it. Dakota Johnson. All right. Yeah, Dakota Johnson. Sport isn't exact science. What? Anyways, like Dakota Johnson, right? You can take Dakota Johnson and we can do a whole hypothetical on, well, she deserves an Oscar for Madam Web because if she was in a different film and she's already shown that she's a really good actress, that in a different film, she would have done better. It's like, what? No, you don't do that. You don't do that. No, you actually can't do that. No, you got to just base it on the merits of what it is. It's a trash movie. She was trash in it. She doesn't get an Oscar for it. Stop. The same thing here. No, Chet doesn't win the award actually, because statistically, he just wasn't better at all than Wemby.
Yeah. I mean, all credit
in a world where Wemby doesn't exist, sure.
To him for a great season and everything, and we're not rookies anymore, so like,
I mean, you didn't play your next game though.
I played more than 82 though, so that's the rule on our team. We play more than 82.
Wait, is that still?
Most of y'all don't get the chance though, because most rookies don't get into playoffs. You can't play more than 82. So
I get it. As a rookie that went to the NBA Finals, like I get it.
Oh my
first 2 years, as my first 2 years,
Poor
like
guy
look,
has
as my
back
first 2
surgery
years going to the
carrying
NBA Finals, like I get it. That's why I was putting so much stock.
Chet,
into
this
it.
is when you look at Rich and you're like, everyone has a scrapbook. Everyone has a scrapbook. We get it.
He's going down memory lane.
He doesn't even remember. He wasn't born yet.
Chet has a lot of swag, by the way.
Even the guy that was with you at that time is rolling his eyes over there.
He wasn't born yet, so I get it. It's fine.
My thing
we
is
went to the finals in 2001.
My thing is this: is like
and lost
all the hype that Wemby came up with, right? That came into the league with. Do you ever think like, holy shit, I'm going to be connected to him? Like the NBA loves Trey and Luka. You have
Magic and Bird,
right?
Yeah.
And like to put you two together on completely different polar opposites. You guys both have the same, I think, skill set. I think you're on a team that's trying to win a chip. He's on a team trying to figure things out. Like, does that ever, I don't want to say motivate you, but do you ever look and go, damn, that's kind of like, we doing something. Like every year, so every time you guys match up, for somebody working at NBA TV and next to the TNT people, everyone circled those games. Because
those
is cut in half.
I feel bad for Chet. I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. I feel bad for Chet. Because Chet Holmgren is a really good player. He is. He's a really good player. But him matching up against Wemby will never... It will never be the hype that people try to make it out. Like, Wemby will always outperform Chet, especially when things really start getting rolling. Wemby really comes in on. He has a good team. He will sun Chet, dude. And Chet's a really good player, though. It's just there's levels to this, right? There's levels to it. It's like when people used to say Kevin Garnett was just as good as Duncan, and some people still try to make that argument. I don't know what to tell them.
I mean, you want to play against really good players, so obviously, like, those are the most exciting types of games, not only for you guys to watch, but like for us to play.
That's true.
But I mean, I wouldn't tie so much up into trying to make it more than it is. He's a great player.
But we are though.
Yeah, and that's what you're doing. You guys are acting like it's bigger than it is.
There you go.
I don't know. That's a little disrespectful, Chet. He's like, you guys are just actors. It's like, that's a little cold. Acting like it's bigger than it is. That's a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. He did a good job of answering. Even he was like, yeah, that's dumb, Richard Jefferson. Let's see what these people have to say. Why do they act like it was a close thing? It was still unanimous. Sorry. RJ smoking. Okay, everyone knows. Okay, all right. This is why RJ will never be taken seriously as an analyst. Good comedic relief. Like, it makes no sense. And I guess, like I said, he's consistent, but it just makes no sense. RJ smoking when he said Chet would have put Wemby stats had he been on the Spurs. Like, yeah, what are we talking about? Very different situation, both incredible rookie seasons. Yeah, everyone is like, dude, what? Crazy. Good stuff. Thanks for showing me this or telling me about this, y'all.